Hello everyone, Fanta here. You are watching FANTAVISION, and today I am discussing GameStop dumpster diving. Now, that was something that really blew up on YouTube that I noticed, and I gotta talk about it. I mean, it's something I've talked about in other videos very briefly, but ever since I started talking about it again, it brought back memories of people finding like PS4s and iPhones and Xbox Ones and just ridiculous shit. And we'll get into that and what is actually thrown away at GameStop. And I'm not talking about just my location, because some people could be like, oh, but Fanta, that was only your GameStop location that was like that. It's like, no, actually, I worked at many different GameStop locations. So I can tell you what, at least in this area, what gets thrown away and what should be thrown away. Anyway. So, for those that care, and then those are the people that do the time codes, Leinenkugel, again, is what I'm drinking. Please sponsor me. They're not going to, but that's fine. I'm drinking the Pomegranate Shandy. It's a Weiss beer with honey and natural flavors, which the natural flavor is obviously pomegranate. It's really good. If you like pomegranate, it's good. If you don't like pomegranate, it has a very pomegranate-y taste to it. It's really smooth beer, though. Really smooth. I like it a lot. Okay. So, let's first talk about what people claim. So, as you can see over here, I mean, we've got a picture. I'll put it up if you guys can't see it. But there's a picture of somebody holding an iPhone, and there's a bunch of games in the background, and there's a headset. I mean, it just says jackpot up here. You're not going to find an iPhone ever in the dumpster, just saying, because the iPhones that are defective are immediately just sent to the warehouse. I don't know how this iPhone wound up in the dumpster, but it was not through GameStop, because GameStop does not do that. Unless they have the most careless people in the world working at that location, why would that wind up in the dumpster? And if it is in the dumpster, it sure as hell does not work, and you've gotten yourself an iPhone-shaped brick or paperweight. Same with the games. The games, if they are thrown away, which is very rare do we actually, or did we actually, I keep talking like I still work there. Rarely did we ever actually throw away a game. Now, the only time we actually did throw away a game is when it was marked for destruction. And that was if it was a game that we had way too many of, like the whole company, like the company as a whole had too many of that game. It wasn't worth that much, and it was defective. So if all three of those things were in line, it got thrown away. But guess what? It's marked for destruction. It's not marked for throw away in the trash. And plus, if it's already marked for destruction, the game is not going to work. It's scratched to fucksville. So if it's marked for destruction, it's a worthless game that does not work, and we scratch it up even more. And I did this sometimes. Now, at my GameStop, sure, you could find these games in the dumpster that were marked for destruction that were not completely decimated. Maybe it works. It'll probably skip. But most of the time, it's got a circle scratch in it. It's got horrible gashes in it. And if we're bored, we added more. Or we used it like a Frisbee out in the parking lot. So, even if, for some reason, there are games in the dumpster, they're non-working, worthless titles. So you're right. The only accurate thing about this picture is Disney Infinity. That was back when they discontinued Disney Infinity. They stopped taking in the figures. They stopped taking in the game. They stopped taking the game way before they stopped taking in the figures. And if it was defective, it's marked for destruction, because nobody was buying Disney Infinity, especially used. Because if you're buying the game, it usually comes with the platform and the figures and the game and all of that shit. So, good job. You got yourself a 10-cent game if it still works. And you need the platform, so it's worthless. Hence why we didn't take the game in, because it would confuse people. It also doesn't make sense at the same time, especially Skylanders games that use the same platforms. Why didn't they sell used Skylanders games? They did at some point, but most of them were just like Disney Infinity. We either didn't take it in at all, or we had it in our stock already before we stopped taking it in, and it was marked for destruction if it was scratched up. So I just don't get how people are finding Grand Theft Auto 5 and iPhones and headsets and stuff like that, because it just does not happen. And if something is worth something, why would the employees throw it away? Did you ever think about that? These employees are human, okay? They're not corporate robots most of the time. God, people are just the smallest dicks in the world. They just have to rev their engine as soon as they go by my house. Why would anything worthwhile make it to the dumpster if you have people that are being paid minimum wage, managers that are paid very little above minimum wage, and they're all usually gamers? Why would they throw away gaming stuff that they want to take home? Again, the only thing that would make it to the dumpster that has any value would be a bunch of strategy guides. Now, most of the time, these strategy guides were not by the dumpster very long. They were placed outside, gently next to the dumpster, and then we drive around and pick it up and take it home. Most of the time, we just took it home. We didn't even go as far as that because our managers didn't give a shit. But when we did have managers that cared, and they were corporate policy following people, and you had to do everything right, that's what we did. We just put it by the dumpster, take it home, because most managers didn't give a shit. None of my lower level ones did, but sometimes one of my lower level managers did care, but most of the main store and the other managers didn't give a shit. I never gave a shit. If you wanted to take home a strategy guide, take it home. It's pennied out. Pennied out is when a strategy guide or game no longer has any value, and you basically remove it from the system and throw it away. Let's talk about games again. There were games that were pennied out, now that I'm thinking about it. But these were like PS2 games or Wii games. I mean, the only real bundle of pennied out games that I remember were PS2 games. And before they were pennied out, they were marked down to like cents. So I bought a shit ton of them. I think I picked up like 30 PS2 games. I know a lot of them were like jam-packed demo discs, but I wanted them, and they were pennies each, so I got a bunch for like $2. So that was really cool, and that could have made it to the trash. But again, there was nothing of value there. It was just based off of nostalgia and wanting demo discs that I don't have anymore. So I don't understand where this is coming from. The only time I got anything of value at GameStop was again because I was working there. It had nothing to do with throwing away anything. It's a little bit off topic, but if we're going to talk about great game finds at a dumpster or a GameStop, actually no, one did have a dumpster. So a customer came in, we told him what he was going to get for his Xbox, and then we realized, oh, wait a minute, where's the controller? And he's like, well, I need the controller. I'm like, well, we can't take it in and trade without the controller. He's like, well, you're giving me $60 for the system. The controller is $40 because the 360 at the time was, I don't think the one was out yet. We're like, well, I'm sorry, sir, but that's just how, they didn't have the AV cables either. So it came down to like $10 for the console. Guy didn't even want to trade it in at that point. He's like, I'm just going to throw this away. I was like, if you're just going to throw it away, do you mind putting it somewhere where I could find it? He's like, okay, so I'm just going to put it on top of that trash can outside and you can pick it up. I'm like, okay. So he went outside, and for the cameras, we had to wait a little bit. I couldn't do this immediately, and plus there are people still in the store. I needed to help them. So my manager's like, go ahead. So he let me go outside to the trash can in front of the store and pick up this Xbox 360 and just put it in my car. I still have that 360, and it works. So it was pretty cool getting a free Xbox 360 that day. And technically I got it out of the trash, but it was on top of the trash and a customer put it there for me. The only other times I got good game finds, which I've mentioned at CLGF, and I'm going to tell stories like this at the Game On Expo. This is a good time to plug it real quick, just in case you did the time code, you don't miss this important information. If you're in the Phoenix area or you just have a bunch of money and can fly out to Phoenix, I will be at the Game On Expo with Eric and Steven and White, if you know who White is from Craigslist Game Finds, which is my other channel that I haven't posted on in forever. It's going to be great. We're going to have a panel. We're going to be guests. We're going to be there the whole weekend. We're going to be going to Dave & Buster's some nights because you get with the Game On Expo pass, you actually get free play of all of the non-ticketing arcade games at Dave & Buster's. So we're going to be going there after the expo, drinking, and just hanging out and having a good time. So if you are going to the Game On Expo, come to our panel. It's at 9 o'clock. Unfortunately, it's the last panel of the day on Friday, this Friday. And we're going to be there the whole weekend, like I said. So even if you can't make the panel, try to make it and just to the show itself and just talk to us and say what's up. It's so cool when people recognize us. I mean, it's just too bad people usually recognize me in the worst places. So we'll be talking about more stories like that, like crazy game finds that we've found in the wild and garage selling. And this is something that I used to make videos about over on Craigslist Game Finds. I used to talk about these crazy bundles of stuff that I bought off people while working at GameStop because I had really relaxed managers. And at the time, this was back when GameStop did not let people trade in anything past the 360 or 360 Wii and PS3. So there was no GameCube anymore. There was no PS2 anymore. So I got some crazy ass shit that people would not believe. This would never go in the GameStop dumpster, of course. This is just telling you this is the only way you can actually get things at GameStop, where you used to. Now you can't because they take in everything. But before, if you were just chilling in a GameStop for a while, or you happened to work there, and you had a chill-ass manager, I bought a GameCube lot. It was the GameCube, a stack of games this big, including Mario Kart and a bunch of other cool shit, and 4 Wavebirds for like $60. It was crazy. The guy was just trying to sell it as quickly as possible. He didn't give a shit. And of course, if GameStop was taking those games during the time, they would have made bank, but I just added it to my collection. I'm like, hell yeah, a bunch of games in this I don't have. So you can get crazy awesome games for good deals at GameStop if you're lucky. Like, let's say you're in a GameStop store. And this has also happened many times. This is the legit way to get a crazy find at GameStop without lying about going in the dumpster. And we'll go into what we actually threw away in a second. But I do want to cover an actual way to get good stuff. If you happen, now this is going to be kind of a timing thing. This is going to be really random. I don't suggest you hang out in a GameStop for hours. It's kind of mind-numbing and terrible, especially with that TV that repeats the same ads 400,000 times and the game demos that don't work anymore. If you see somebody trading in a big lot of stuff, or they have retro stuff, and sometimes GameStops will get pissed about this, sometimes they don't care. It's kind of a dick move, but fuck GameStop. If you're seeing that they're trading a bunch of stuff, look at what they're getting for those games and offer them as they're looking around, maybe not right next to the register, but like, dude, I'll give you 20% more than what they're giving you in cash. I've done this a couple times. When I was not working, I saw somebody trading a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I don't have that game. They're giving you nothing. I'll give you 20%. So you're still getting a really good deal, and they're getting a better deal than GameStop. So it's a win-win situation, and GameStop loses. So it's win-win-win. So that's the one way to actually get good shit from GameStop. Now, the only thing that might be of value to people that we did throw away were posters. Now, posters would indeed get thrown away. However, the good ones, the cool ones, usually went home with the employees. I used to have, like, the entire wall was basically a wallpaper of game posters when I worked there. But they didn't survive the move because I moved like 3 times and some of them got torn up, and then I decided, I don't want all this shit on my wall. I kind of want something right now because it's pretty barren and sad except for soundproofing. But I don't know. Didn't want game posters everywhere. But that is one thing you can find. You can find game posters in the dumpster if you really need them. Or, even easier, most GameStops, I don't know if they do this anymore, but we used to give away those posters on the walls. Like, just say, hey, when do you usually do marketing? And then find out that day and then go in that day and ask, hey, I saw that poster up. I know today's marketing day. Could I have that poster? And most of the time they're going to say yes. Because before it goes to the dumpster, usually they put it in this giant, because they get this giant box when you're doing marketing. And it comes with all the new posters, comes with all of the new case art, it comes with basically everything you need. All the hanging shit too, if your GameStop does the hanging things. And they'll just put those posters in that box, and then they'll take the whole box to the dumpster. So if you catch them in the middle of the day, because usually marketing takes a couple hours, sometimes you want to go there the day before marketing. What the hell was that noise? I don't know if you guys are hearing this. My roommate is making horrible demonic noises. I lost my train of thought because of that. If you catch them at the right time, just ask them when they usually throw the stuff away. Just ask them questions, honestly. Become friends with your local GameStop people if you happen to want those posters. I know I rag on GameStop all the time. I tell you guys not to shop there. But if you just talk to these people, most of them are human beings that do have compassion and understand as gamers that you do want some of these posters because they're so cool most of the time. A lot of them are really cool posters and you can't get them anywhere else. They have nothing like it anywhere else and it's crazy. So if you want those posters, just ask. Don't dumpster dive. It's just gross. Why do you want to dumpster dive in the first place? I don't get it. People have been asking me, hey Fanta, go do a dumpster dive video. It's pointless when I know what's going to be in the dumpster. It's going to be posters that are going to be dirty and smashed and ripped apart. Some will be okay. And trash. That's it. That's what's going to be in the dumpster. Trash is going to be in the dumpster. This kind of shit does not happen. This does not happen. Right here. This is a PC game. This probably doesn't even work. These probably don't even work. This is awful. It's not even first party. There's so much garbage. I don't get it. There's a used controller condom. We talked about that. Why do you want to fish used condoms out of the dumpster? I don't get it. Most of these are probably empty cases. It's just, it baffles me. The stuff that people are, having epic finds inside the dumpster when it's just trash. Like, this is awful. This controller probably does not work. There's always something. Look at this. What? Look what we found. NBA 2K16 right on the top of the trash. That's crazy. I'm not calling every single one of these videos a liar. But I'm telling you what we threw away. We threw away posters. We threw away trash. We threw away old cover art. And we threw away broken cases and the occasional destroyed controller or broken game. The second thing of value that might have been thrown away were the Guitar Hero guitars, but those usually were either taken home or smashed because they're in terrible condition. And those skateboards for the Tony Hawk. I don't know why I did this. That's not... for the Tony Hawk skate game. But nobody likes that game. It's shit. I mean... maybe they're worth something now, but they don't even take them in trade anymore. So you're not going to find those. That was when we pennied those out. And we actually kept those in the store for a while because we did tricks with them. When we're closed or there's nobody in the store, I just take it out and skate around on the carpet and try to do an ollie and do flips and stuff with it. Very difficult to do with that board, by the way. But there's nothing of value that winds up in the garbage can. That is the lesson to take from this. It's not worth spending your time and getting all dirty from digging through the trash. It's not worth getting AIDS from used heroin needles that are poking out of trash bags or anything like that. It's not worth risking getting in trouble with the police going through a dumpster. It's just not. It's not worth it. Don't recommend it. I'm not calling out anybody. I'm just saying the GameStops within a 25-mile radius, do not do that. I've never seen a single valuable thing thrown in the trash. So, thanks for watching, everyone. let me know in the comments if you have found something crazy in the trash can, because I'm telling you, that's a rare find. That's a rare spawn, if you will. So good on you for finding it, but I'm telling you, that's not the norm. Also, like the video if you guys liked it, subscribe for more content, and as always, everyone, have a fantastic day. See you guys. This is a really good beer. This is a really good beer. Seriously though, come to that Game On Expo, guys. I want to see how many people show up. It'd be awesome. If you have a FANTAVISION t-shirt and you wear it to Game On Expo, I'd lose my shit. Eric and I will be there. We'll sign it. Seriously, we'll sign anything you want. Honestly, you bring anything. You could bring some other channel shirt. We'll sign it. I don't care. We'll sign anything. Take photographs, whatever. It's cool. If you want to hang out with us, let us know. Okay? It'll be cool. Also, for my loyal viewers that watch the videos all the way through to the end, I do want to announce that the new podcast episode will be going up this Saturday. That's right. So that means if you are a patron, it is up right now. Go watch it. Go listen to it. Unfortunately, the iTunes and Google Play will not be available to patrons. You can still download it. I'll still provide the download link of the audio-only version, but I do not put it up on iTunes or Google Play until the day it's released for the public, because that's just released for the public. So I still want to keep that week exclusivity of the early access to patrons, because seriously, thank you guys so much, everybody over on Patreon. I'm trying to make it worth it as much as I can. I want your guys' money to mean something, not just supporting the channel. Like, I love the people that picked no rewards at all, but I want to make it worth your money to be a patron. So let me know if you guys have any ideas over on Patreon. Send me a message. Let me know some ideas how I can make it better. And I have an idea, though, for the next goal that I'm going to talk about with Eric, and I think you guys are going to like it a lot. So we'll have to see about that, but it's a pretty lofty idea. I don't know how it'll work, but I'll talk it over with Eric. We'll see what's up, and thank you for watching.